Attention, this is a live emergency broadcast. What is happening right now is changing our world forever. The water is boiling and rising. Cities are drowning. From the ocean depths are emerging man-eating cannibal deep-sea monsters. Podcaster Danny Corvin is recording everything as it unfolds. You will hear the truth about what is happening to humanity as it ceases to be the apex of the food chain. Welcome to the show. If anyone can hear me, if even one radio station is still broadcasting, this is the Voices from the Abyss podcast, frequency 91.7 FM, backup channel. My name is Danny Corwin, and for the last 72 hours, I've been watching the end of the world. 3 years. 3 goddamn years I warned you about the deep sea anomaly, about the strange seismic signals from the Mariana Trench, about thermal emissions that science couldn't explain. And you know what you did? Called me crazy. Took my job. Took my son. And now? Now San Francisco is underwater. Seattle's drowning. Miami just vanished. 800,000 people in one night. My ex-wife Lisa was there, with our son Kyle. He was 7 years old. Last message from her came 18 hours ago. Voice message. Want to hear it? Of course you do, because you need to understand what's happening.
Lord Jesus, please help me. I don't want to die such a horrible death. Why is this curse upon me? Help me, I beg you, help me, someone. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
You heard that? That sound? That's not an animal, not human, that's something else. I had 340,000 subscribers. Had, I should say. Now I don't know how many of you are alive. But if you're hearing me, stay on the line. I'm in a bunker in Nevada built by my grandfather for nuclear war. Generators running, satellite connections working. I'll broadcast as long as I can. And now I've got my first call. A voice from the coast. Someone who saw it with their own eyes.
Danny, that you, buddy? Billy Joe Calhoun here, Route 66, Arizona. Been listening to your podcast. Thought you were nuts. Sorry about that. An hour ago, the first convoy of refugees reached my gas station. Billy's place, you know it? 200 kilometers from the coast. Figured it wouldn't reach us. I was wrong. Danny, these people, they're not just scared, they're broken. Seen a lot in Iraq, but that look, that empty, dead look in living people's eyes, never seen that before. Woman named Sarah, school teacher from San Diego, sat down on my station steps and just stared into nothing. Stared for 2 hours, didn't blink. When I asked what happened, she spoke in this monotone voice like a robot. The water rose up First Street so fast, like someone turned on a faucet. 20 minutes and the first floor was flooded. We went to the second, then the third, then the roof, and the water kept rising. Warm water, Billy, like bath water. 95 degrees, they said on the radio. The ocean is boiling. And then we heard them. Sound from the water, like singing, beautiful singing, children's voices singing a lullaby. My husband, Jack, said, must be a radio somewhere. But there was no radio, Billy. All the electricity was out. And then we saw them in the water. Silhouettes. Hundreds of silhouettes under the water, swimming in circles around our house. Human-shaped, but wrong. Arms too long, heads too big. And then one surfaced, right in front of the roof and looked at us. Oh God, Billy, her eyes, black as pitch, size of fists, no eyelids, just staring, studying, like a scientist looks at an insect under a microscope. And she smiled. She had lips, almost human lips. And she smiled, then opened her mouth and screamed. I can't describe that scream, Billy. It entered your head like a knife. Our neighbor, Mrs. Parker, grabbed her ears and jumped into the water. Jumped herself, and in the water they were in the water and they dragged her under. And she stopped screaming. My Jack, my husband, ran after her. Could not. He was a good man. Last thing I saw was him disappearing under the water with them. I sat on that roof another 3 hours, alone, and they swam around and sang, just kept singing and singing, until the helicopter came. Danny, this woman told this story without emotion, like she was reading a borscht recipe. And I've got 200 people like her here, all in shock. And also, I've seen bodies, or what's left of them, brought in trucks. Danny, these bodies, they have teeth marks, human teeth marks. But the jaws were too wide, bites 10 centimeters deep, to the bone. What the hell are these creatures, man? And why do they look so much like us?
Billy Joe, thank you for that testimony. Recorded, saved, this matters. What Sarah described, this isn't the first case. In the last 24 hours, I've received 1,247 voice messages, most cut off with screams. But there are patterns, repeating details. 1. The creatures emit a sound that drives people insane. High frequency. Some describe it as singing, others as metal scraping on glass, but the effect is the same. People lose their minds and drown themselves. 2. Bites. Deep, ragged. Victims aren't just dead, they're partially eaten, like someone sampling. 3. The creatures are studying us, watching, not just attacking, they're learning. And now, Jesus Christ, I've got an incoming call on a secure channel. Military. This is General Caldwell, Commander of Strategic Command. General, you're on the air.
Mr. Corwin, Major General Nathan Caldwell, Stratcom. Shouldn't be talking to you, but official channels are dead. President's unreachable. Pentagon's evacuated. Contact with the coast is lost. I command the nuclear arsenal of the United States, and for the first time in 35 years of service, I don't know who to shoot at. 72 hours ago, seismic stations registered a series of underwater earthquakes, magnitude 8.5 across the entire Pacific coast, simultaneously. Geologically impossible, but it happened. 2 hours later, ocean temperatures started rising, from Alaska to Chile, rose 15 degrees in 6 hours. 12 hours after that, evaporation began. Clouds covered the entire coastline. Rain poured like buckets, warm rain, 86 degrees. And then the water started rising. Not a tide, not a tsunami, just rising. 30 centimeters an hour, continuously. Right now, the level is 21 meters higher and still rising. We've lost 43 coastal cities. Population, preliminary estimates, 15 million dead. But that's just the beginning, because in the water, there's something in the water. Satellite imagery shows movement underwater, large-scale movement, Thousands, maybe millions of human-sized objects. They're moving toward shore in waves, organized. 2 hours ago, we lost the destroyer John McCain 50 miles off San Francisco. Crew of 300. Captain's last message: listen for yourself.
Base, this is McCain. Observing unidentified objects in the water. Hundreds of targets. Speed 40 knots. Impossible speed for any known marine animals. They're surrounding the ship. Oh my God, they're climbing the hull. Opening fire. Beautiful. So beautiful. Mom, I'm coming to you, Mom.
That was 3 hours ago. Satellite confirmed. Ship sank in 4 minutes. 300 trained Marines destroyed in 4 minutes. Mr. Corwin, the country I swore to protect is dying, and I don't know who to protect it from.
General, thank you for your honesty, but I have someone who can provide answers. 3 hours ago, she made contact from coordinates in the northern Pacific, transmitting from a depth of 3,000 meters. Dr. Evelyn Strauss, are you on the line?
Danny? Yes, I hear you. General Caldwell, if you're still on the line, listen carefully. My name is Evelyn Strauss. I'm an oceanographer. My full name may be familiar to you. My father, Dr. Robert Strauss, chief engineer of Project Sea Star, that same project that triggered this catastrophe. 3 years ago, my father killed himself, shot himself in his office, left a note, "Sorry, Evie, I woke them. Stop what I started." I thought he'd gone mad. Last words I said to him were, "You're paranoid and a coward." 2 weeks ago, I received a package from a dead man. Encrypted files, coordinates, instructions for launching the bathyscaphe Abyssal 7, and a final message. If you're reading this, I'm dead, which means they've begun. Evie, descend to the bottom, descend and see what we've done, and if possible, tell them I'm sorry. 3 days ago, the water started rising. I understood. Father was right, and I descended. Right now, I am at 3,200 meters. The bathyscaphe has designed for one pilot. I'm alone here. Transmission goes through satellite connection. You're hearing me with a 2-second delay. And I see... God, I see them! Objects are moving in the water around me. Hundreds. They're swimming upward, to the surface, past my bathyscaphe. Some stop and look at me. Activating external floodlights. Oh, God. Oh, merciful God. It's almost human. Almost. 6 feet tall. Gray-green skin. Translucent. I can see veins beneath it. Arms too long, reaching to the knees. Fingers webbed. At the tips, little claws. Small, sharp claws. Legs also webbed, but it moves. God, how it moves. Like a dolphin. Smooth, fast, beautiful. The head is large. Skull elongated backward. And the eyes huge, black, no eyelids, staring right at me, studying. It has a mouth, almost human mouth, with lips, but when it opens, there are teeth. 2 rows of sharp, needle-like teeth. It's swimming closer, extending its arm toward the porthole, touching the glass, fingers long, thin, suction cups at the tips, like an octopus, and it It's knocking on the glass. 3 times, rhythmically. Knock, knock, knock. This isn't an animal. This is an intelligent being. It's trying to communicate. And behind it, God, behind it, there are hundreds, all swimming upward to your shores, to your cities. General Caldwell, they're not attacking my bath escape, ignoring it, as if I'm not interesting to them. They're interested in those above. I'm continuing my descent. Father's coordinates point to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, 11,000 meters. That's where I'm heading. But before I get answers, you need to survive. These creatures, they're organized, they're intelligent, and there are so many of them. Danny, keep broadcasting. I'll make contact every 6 hours, record everything. This may be humanity's last chronicle.
Mr. Corwin, I've been listening to your broadcast. My name is Keiko Tanaka. I'm a priest of the Shinto Izumo Temple in Oregon. I am 76 years old. I survived Hiroshima when I was 2 months old. Survived the 2011 tsunami when I lost my entire family. Thought after the atomic bomb and the killer wave, nothing could surprise me. I was wrong. 2 hours ago, my community started going insane. Mr. Nakamura, math teacher, rational man, walked out into the rain, stripped naked and started dancing and singing in a language I didn't know, ancient language. Then walked to the cliff above the ocean and jumped. Mrs. Yamamoto, grandmother of 5, drowned the youngest in a rainwater barrel. When they pulled her away, she was smiling and saying, "He'll come back. From the water he'll return. Better, he'll return." 8 people in 2 hours. All heard the call from the water. I don't hear it. Old ears go deaf. But the young hear and obey. I've locked the rest in the temple, 23 people, reciting sutras continuously. As long as sutras sound, the call doesn't penetrate the mind. But Mr. Corwin, I've studied Polynesian myths for 50 years, collected stories from island peoples, about those who went into the water, about the first people, about the 100,000-year cycle. On my temple wall hangs a map, ancient Polynesian map, drawn 800 years ago. It marks forbidden waters, places where you can't sail, where moon children live. I always thought it was superstition. Now I understand. It was a map of their territories. And there's also a warning written there in Old Polynesian. I translated, "When the water warms, when the rain will not cease, when moon children return from the depths, know the cycle has completed. Our time has ended. Their time has begun." Mr. Corwin, I've seen the atomic bomb, seen the tsunami. But this is worse. Because the bomb and the wave, that's nature. But this is a return of those who were here before us. My old grandmother used to say, "Keiko, the earth isn't ours. We're just guests, and the owners can come back." I laughed at her. I'm not laughing anymore.
All right, folks. If you're still listening, let's summarize the first 24 hours of the catastrophe. Fact 1. The ocean heated by 15 degrees. Water is rising 30 centimeters per hour. Coastal cities are flooded. Fact 2. Intelligent creatures are rising from the depths, human-shaped but adapted to underwater life. There are millions of them. Fact 3. They emit a sound that drives people insane. Mass suicides all along the coast. Fact 4. They eat people. Not predators, not animals, they study us through consumption. Fact 5. This isn't random. This is organized action. A plan. 15 million dead in 72 hours. That's more than in World War II's first year. Billy Joe, if you're listening, fortify that station. Refugees will come in waves. Evelyn continues her descent. Next contact in 6 hours from 6,000 meters. General Caldwell, prepare a response. Keiko-san, preserve wisdom. We'll need it. I'm staying on air, 24/7. This is Voices from the Abyss, the last independent station, the last free voice. And if you know something, if you've seen something, call in, record, bear witness, because if we all die, at least let memory remain.
Chapter 2 of our sad story.
Danny, this is Evelyn. 18 hours since last contact. Depth 6,100 meters. Pressure 600 atmospheres. Temperature outside plus 4 degrees Celsius. And I've found them. Danny, there's a city here. On the ocean floor, at a depth where there should be nothing but silt and darkness. Activating long-range floodlights. Structures ahead. Massive structures, 50, 60 meters tall, made of... God, what are they made of? Material resembles coral, but stronger, bioluminescent, glows with a dim blue light. The form, organic, as if they grew rather than being built. These aren't ruins. This is an active city. I see movement. They're there. The ichthyosaurs, hundreds of them, swimming between structures, working, repairing something, transporting objects. There are large specimens, 3 meters tall. There are small ones, child-sized. Families? Castes? They don't notice me, or pretend not to. The bathyscape slowly descends past the city. I'm filming. Camera's working. All material transmitting to your server, Danny. I see a plaza. Central plaza of the city. The structure there is different, larger, more magnificent. Temple? City Hall? A crowd of ichthyosaurs has gathered in the plaza. Hundreds. They're forming a circle around something in the center. Zooming in. Oh, no. Oh, no. In the center of the circle, a cage aquarium with oxygen inside. Bioluminescent cage, the size of a car. And inside are people. Living people. About 20. Wet, naked, pressed against each other. I see faces. Terror, despair. One man pounding on the cage walls, screaming silently. I can't hear through the water. The ichthyosaurs are watching them. Just watching, studying, like we watch monkeys at the zoo. One ichthyosaur swam to the cage, large one, 3 meters. It has markings on its chest, scars, tattoos. It opens the cage. People press against each other. The ichthyander extends its hand, long hand with webbing, grabs one person, young guy, and pulls him out of the cage straight into the water. The guy jerks, tries to break free. Useless. The ichthyander is 3 times stronger. And then it... Sorry, Danny, I threw up in my helmet. Okay. Breathe, Evie, breathe. It bit him in the neck. Deep. Blood clouds in the water. The guy twitched for about 20 seconds, then went limp. And the ichthyander, it wasn't killing for food. It was tasting. Bit, held the blood in its mouth, then spat it out like a sommelier tasting wine, evaluating the flavor. Then nodded to the other ichthyanders. They swam up, took the body, carried it somewhere, and the large ichthyander returned to the cage, selecting the next one. They're not just eating us, Danny. They're tasting us, selecting, choosing the most delicious ones. This is a farm, a human farm on the ocean floor. The bathyscape is passing by. I can't do anything. Nothing. Just recording and descending further. But now I know they don't want to destroy us. They want to breed us like we breed cattle. Transmitting coordinates of the city to General Caldwell. If you have depth charges, use them.
Evelyn, I received your transmission. All material saved. While you were descending, I worked on your father's files. 3 days of continuous work. Cryptographic keys. 7-layer encrypted. But I cracked it. And here's what's inside. Diary of Dr. Robert Strauss, Project Sea Star, beginning 20 years ago. Reading verbatim. January 15, 2005. Today, we discovered an anomaly. Deep-sea sonars detected structures on the Mariana Trench floor. Regular, geometric structures, not natural. Congress approved funding, $50 billion. Officially, geothermal energy research. Really, studying artifacts of unknown origin. March 25, 2007, first expedition. Unmanned bathyscaphe. Descended to 10,500 meters. Cameras recorded, these aren't artifacts. This is a city. Ancient, enormous, and it's active. Faint glow. Thermal signals. Movement. Someone lives there. Listen further. June 10, 2010. We established contact. They responded to our signals with mathematical sequences. Prime numbers, then more complex. They're intelligent. I tell command, we need caution. We need first contact protocol. Diplomacy. Command ignores. Orders drilling. They want to reach the geothermal source. I warn, this could disturb them. They don't listen. August 15, 2015. We drilled through the crust, reached the thermal source. Temperature 380 degrees Celsius. Incredible energy. Could power the entire continent. But that same day, signals changed. They stopped responding. Instead, a new pattern. Repeating. Relentless. Mathematician Jennings deciphered it. Said, this isn't a message. This is a countdown. I raised the alarm. Demanded stopping the drilling.
closing the project, evacuating the station. They fired me, declared me paranoid, declared me a threat to national security, erased me from all documents. December 20th, 2020. I stole the data, all blueprints, all records, hid them, encrypted them. Will leave them for my daughter Evelyn. If she's reading this, the countdown has ended. They've awakened. Evie, I'm sorry. We thought the geothermal source was a natural phenomenon. Turns out, it's their reactor. We drilled through the wall of their power plant, woke them up. Now they're hungry, and we're food. Last entry, May 10th, 2022, day before the suicide. Yesterday, received anonymous message. Photo of my daughter, Evelyn. She's entering a supermarket. Text below. Stay silent or she's next. I've been silent for 2 years, but silence won't save anyone. They've already launched the final drilling phase. In a year, the reactor will overheat. The ocean will heat up. The ichthyophanders will rise to the surface. Evie, if you're reading this, I'm sorry. I'm a coward. Couldn't protect the world, couldn't protect you. But I'm leaving coordinates. Descend. See the truth. And if possible, stop them. I love you. Forgive me. So, Project Sea Star wasn't an experiment. It was an invasion. We broke into their home, destroyed their power plant, and now they've come for answers. General Caldwell, if you're listening, the government knew and continued for geothermal energy, for money. They sentenced us all to death.
Mr. Corwin, General Caldwell. I listened to the diaries, got confirmation from the National Security Agency. It's true, all true. 20 years ago, the government discovered them. 10 years ago, established contact. 5 years ago, began drilling, knowing the risks. They didn't tell me, didn't tell a regular general. Only a narrow circle knew. The President, CIA Director, Secretary of State, heads of energy corporations. An hour ago, I arrested the President and the Vice President and all members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff who knew. They're now in cells at Cheyenne Mountain Base, under armed guard, awaiting trial. If we survive, they'll answer. But Mr. Corwin, now I'm Commander-in-Chief, de facto. I have nuclear launch codes, 1,700 warheads, and I must make a decision. The most terrible decision of my life. I have depth charges, nuclear torpedoes, can strike their cities on the bottom. But Dr. Strauss, Evelyn, you're there, in the depths. Tell me honestly, will this help, or just make them angrier?
General, I'm at 7,200 meters now, and I see something that will answer your question. I see a second structure, larger than the first. It's a factory. Literally, production line. Ichthyanders working in organized fashion, hundreds of them, creating something large, many large objects. Zooming in, these are capsules, egg-shaped capsules, the size of buses, bioluminescent, translucent walls, and inside the capsules, inside creatures are growing, not ichthyanders, other creatures. I see one capsule up close, inside an embryo, enormous embryo, 5 meters long, snake-like body, but with limbs, 6 limbs like an insect, head with huge maw, rows of teeth,
This isn't for communicating with us. This is bioweaponry. They're growing monsters. General, I see thousands of these capsules. Thousands. And some are already open, empty, meaning the creatures have been released. They're crawling upward to your shores. If you strike with nuclear weapons now, you'll destroy part of the production, maybe slow them down, but you won't stop them because the main city is deeper, much deeper, at the very bottom of the trench. And your torpedoes won't reach there. I'm continuing my descent, but General, prepare for the worst. What we saw on the surface, only scouts. Main forces are still rising from the depths. And also, transmitting to your coordinates an audio recording. This is what they emit, constantly. Infrasound, 7 hertz, frequency that causes panic in mammals. That's why people are going insane on the coast. This isn't magic. This is sonic weaponry. Billy Joe, if you're listening, find ways to block low frequencies. Earplugs won't help. Need insulation, thick walls, basements.
It's Billy. Heard Evelyn. Already tested. In 3 days, my gas station turned into a fortified camp. 850 refugees dug trenches, built barricades, organized watch shifts, and we faced a problem. People keep going insane, even here, 200 kilometers from the water. Yesterday, Mechanic Tommy went out at night, climbed on the roof and started screaming into the void, screaming, "I hear! I'm coming! Wait for me!" Had to restrain him. He's still muttering something about beauty of the depths. After Evelyn's words, I understood. Is infrasound. So we need insulation. Drove people to basements, to the old bomb shelter under the station, built in the 50s during the Cold War. Walls thick, concrete. And you know what? It works. In the basement, people don't hear the call, don't go insane, sleep peacefully. First time in 3 days without nightmares. But there's a problem. Not enough room. 850 people won't fit. Maximum 200. So, selection is needed. I'm choosing the strong, young, those who can work, families with children, priority. The elderly? I'm leaving the elderly upstairs. Sorry, Uncle George. Sorry, Mrs. Peterson. You had 75 years. The children have their whole lives ahead. Maybe it's monstrous. Maybe I become a monster. But this is survival. No room for morality here. And I discovered a second thing by accident. Day before yesterday, oil was burning. Big puddle. Didn't clean it up in time. Caught fire from a cigarette. Bright flame. Hot. Black smoke. And then, from behind the trench, a creature crawled out. One of those small scouts, 3 feet tall, gray skin, webbing on hands, crawling toward us, fast crawling. Guys grabbed rifles, taking aim, and I yelled, "Wait, look!" The creature approached the fire and stopped, hissed, backed away, ran back to the water. They are afraid of fire. Now, around the perimeter, 50 fires, burning 24/7. Kerosene, wood, tires, anything that burns. And you know what? Not one creature has approached since. Danny, tell all survivors, fire, lots of fire. That's their weakness. Water is their element. Fire is ours.
Keiko Tanaka, while you searched for scientific answers, I searched for spiritual ones. My temple holds texts, ancient texts from Easter Island, from Tahiti, from Hawaii. Collected them for 50 years, most in forgotten languages, Old Polynesian, Rapa Nui, Marquesan. 3 days I've been translating, didn't sleep, drank only water and green tea. And here's what I found. Text from Easter Island, age 800 years, called Song of Return. When the red moon rises over water, when water boils without fire, when rain pours from empty sky, then will return the Tangatamanui, bird people from deep water. They were before us, they will be after us. Earth belongs to them. We are merely guests at their feast, and the feast has come to an end. Mr. Corwin, our ancestors knew about them, called them different names, Tangatamanui, Kanakakai, moon children. But all texts say the same. They went into the water long ago, very long ago, when catastrophe happened. What catastrophe? It doesn't say. Maybe ice age, maybe asteroid, maybe flood. Humans stayed on land. They went underwater, adapted, evolved, and waited. Waited for us, the land dwellers, to become weak, overpopulated, dependent on technology, and then they'd return. I found another text, the most frightening, Tahitian, age presumably 1,000 years, called Prophecy of the End. There will be a sign, 3 signs. First sign, water will become enemy. Second sign, earth will become water. Third sign, people will become food. After the third sign, 7 days. 7 days until the great choice. Choice 1, remain human and die. Choice 2, become Kanakakai and live. There is no third choice, no salvation, only choice. Mr. Corwin, we've already seen the first sign. Water became enemy. It's rising, drowning us. Second sign is already happening. Earth becoming water. Cities sinking. Third sign, I fear it has arrived. People have become food. We're in their cages, on their farms. Meaning in 7 days there will be the great choice. I don't know what this means, but the ancients didn't lie, never were wrong. I'm preparing my community, teaching meditation, teaching acceptance. If we're doomed, we'll die with dignity. But, Mr. Corwin, maybe there's a third choice the ancients didn't know about. A choice we'll create ourselves. I hope for this. Hope very much.
So folks, 72 hours into the catastrophe, we've learned, first, this isn't an invasion. This is a return. The Ichthyanders were here before us. We occupied their territory. Second, we woke them with Project Sea Star. Drilled their reactor. Overheated the ocean. Third, the government knew. Concealed it. Continued drilling for energy and money. Fourth, they have weaknesses. Fire repels them. Thick walls block infrasound. Fifth, they have a plan. Farms for breeding humans. Bioweapons for cleansing. Organization for colonization.
Losses: 24 million people in 3 days. Half the East Coast flooded, West Coast next. Evelyn continues descent, next contact from 10,000 meters in 12 hours. General Caldwell prepares military response. Billy Joe fortifies defenses. Keiko prepares spirits for choice. And I continue broadcasting. Because as long as I'm on air, humanity hasn't surrendered yet. Voices from the Abyss, Day 3. Continuing.
Chapter 3. Things are getting worse. Much worse.
Danny Corwin, Voices from the Abyss, Day 4. Something incredible just happened. 10 minutes ago, an encrypted email arrived. Anonymous. Sender signed as Conscience of the Nation. In the email, a file sharing link. 50 gigabytes of data. I downloaded it, checked for viruses. Clean. Opened it. Jesus Christ Almighty. This is everything. The whole truth. All of it. Complete documentation of Project Sea Star. 20 years of correspondence. Transcripts of closed meetings. Budget reports. Scientific reports. Photographs. Videos. And the most terrifying thing, risk assessments. Listen. Reading verbatim. Document dated June 15, 2018. Title: Scenario Analysis for Thermal Barrier Breach. Scenario 1. Localized zone. Probability 45%. Consequences: local warming. Water level rise 2 to 5 meters within 500 kilometer radius. Potential casualties 500,000 to 2 million. Assessment: acceptable. Scenario 2. Cascading thermal discharge. Probability 35%. Consequences: global ocean warming, level rise 15 to 30 meters, flooding of coastal megalopolises. Potential casualties 50,000 to 150,000. Assessment: undesirable but manageable. Elite and key personnel evacuate to mountain shelters. Scenario 3. Awakening of deep water biological forms. Probability 15%. Consequences: unpredictable. Assuming sentience of forms, conflict possible. Potential casualties 500,000 to 2 billion. Assessment: unlikely. If occurring, application of military force and, if necessary, nuclear arsenal. Overall risk assessment: project recommended to proceed. Potential energy benefit: unlimited geothermal energy outweighs risks. Outweighs risks? They knew! They knew intelligent beings lived there and kept drilling!
Reading further. Meeting protocol dated March 3rd, 2020. Participants: President, CIA Director, Attorney General, heads of 3 largest energy corporations. President: Gentlemen, Dr. Strauss raised an alarm. Claims drilling could cause catastrophe. Your opinion? CIA Director: Dr. Strauss is paranoid. His theories have no scientific basis. CEO of Ocean Energy Corporation: Mr. President, we've invested $200 billion in this project. The geothermal source means America's energy independence for 500 years. We can't stop because of one scientist's hysteria. Attorney General: I recommend firing Strauss. Place under covert surveillance. If information leaks, take measures. President: agreed. Continue drilling. And Strauss? Let the FBI keep an eye on him. That's what happened to Evelyn's father. They fired him, intimidated him, put him under surveillance, drove him to suicide. And 2 years later, in 2022, completed the final drilling phase. Reading report dated August 15, 2022. Drilling completed, thermal source accessed, power installations connected, output exceeds projections by 300%. Expected profit for first year of operation, $500 billion. Note, registered sharp change in deep layer water temperature. Rise of 2 degrees Celsius within a 1,000-kilometer radius of source. Observed migration of deep water organisms toward the surface. Enhanced monitoring recommended. They saw what was happening, saw the migration, and kept pumping energy. Pumped for 3 years, overheated the ocean, woke them up. For money, for goddamn $500 billion, they sentenced humanity to death. And you know what's most disgusting? They prepared. Here's a document from January 2024. Critical Personnel Evacuation Plan. In the event of a catastrophic scenario, ensure evacuation of the following persons to protected mountain complexes: President and immediate circle, Congress members, 50 persons by selection, partner corporation leadership, scientific personnel, 100 persons, service personnel, 500 persons. Total, 1,200 persons. Shelters built in Colorado, Utah, Wyoming. Autonomy, 10 years. Equipped with life support systems, generators, food supplies. Remaining population, notification through the media about natural disaster. Evacuation recommendations to inland areas, martial law if necessary. 1,200 people out of 330 million Americans. The rest, expendable. The elite was going to wait it out in bunkers while we die out here. But you know what? Their plan failed because General Caldwell arrested them. President in a cell, CIA director in a cell, corporate heads in cells. And I'm now publishing everything. Every document, every name, every number on every platform still working. Let the world know. Let the survivors know who betrayed them.
This is Evelyn. Depth 10,200 meters. I'm at the bath escape's limit. And I found them. Not the ichthyanders. Humans. Or rather, what's left of them. Before my porthole, a structure. Artificial, but ancient. Destroyed. Covered with millennia of silt. The form resembles a city, but the architectural style is different. The ichthyanders didn't build this. This was built by us. Activating manipulator. Taking a sample. This isn't stone. This is concrete. Ancient. Destroyed, but recognizable. Human concrete. Descending closer. I see debris. Metal structures. Rusted, covered with mollusks, but it's metal. Steel. Human steel. And here they are. Skeletons. Human skeletons lying among the ruins. Dozens. Hundreds. All in one pose. Curled up, hands to head, mouths open in silent scream. They drowned. Drowned quickly. The entire settlement at once. Taking one skeleton for analysis. Radiocarbon dating sensor. No, this is impossible. This can't be. Danny, this skeleton is 1,000,000 years old. 1,000,000 years. Here at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, there was a human city 1,000,000 years ago, and it drowned. means... God, this means the cycle repeated. 1,000,000 years ago, humans lived on land, built cities, possibly were even civilized. And then the ocean rose, flooded them. They died. But some didn't die. Adapted to water, evolved, became ichthyanders. And on the freed land, a new branch of humans developed. Us, Homo sapiens. We're not the first, Danny. We're not even second. We're just repeating a cycle that's lasted millions of years. Land becomes overpopulated, humans exhaust resources, climate changes, ocean rises, most die, minority adapts to water, becomes a new race, and waits while new humans appear on land. Then, the cycle repeats. We're not victims, Danny. We're part of a program, a biological program that's been running for millions of years. The ichthyanders aren't enemies, they're our ancestors. More precisely, ancestors of our ancestors. The branch that adapted to water 1,000,000 years ago. And we're the young branch, the branch that adapted to land 100,000 years ago after the previous cycle. And now, it's time for the next cycle. Time when the water branch returns to land and the land branch either dies or goes underwater. Evolution isn't linear, Danny. It's cyclical. And we're just cogs in an endless machine. Continuing descent to the bottom. 800 meters remaining. Oxygen running out. But I must see the main city. The place where it all began. Next contact from the very bottom, or never.
Billy here. Shore contact. Military came to us. 3 trucks, 40 soldiers, demanding all supplies. Say it's general staff orders for government shelter. I said we have 850 refugees. Women, children, elderly. We're starving ourselves. And the major answered, that's an order. Resistance will be suppressed. They opened fire on us, on American citizens. We fired back. We have hunting rifles, pistols, militia. Firefight started. Woman screams in the distance. They killed Mrs. Johnson. She was just standing by the warehouse, holding a baby, and they shot her with an automatic. They threw a grenade into living tin. There were children there. We're fighting our own army. This is insanity. We repelled them. Lost 12 people. Dead. Another 20 wounded. Among military, 8 dead. Rest retreated. And you know what I found on the dead major? A map. Map with route to Shelter Alpha in Colorado Mountains. Distance 300 kilometers. Marked critical personnel only. Capacity 1,200 persons. Military guard. Shoot trespassers on sight. Danny, the elite was building bunkers while we were dying. And now the Army serves them, not the people. General Caldwell, if you're listening, your subordinates are killing Americans. Control your people, or we'll shoot every soldier. We declare Billy's gas station a free territory, independent from the traitors in government. Here, the people rule. And if anyone else comes to take food from hungry children, they'll leave in a body bag.
General Caldwell. I listened to Billy Joe. Major Thompson and his unit acted without my orders. He received instructions from the former General Staff, those traitors I arrested. But the problem runs deeper. The army is split. Some units obey me, some the old leadership, some act independently, looting and killing. Yesterday, the 82nd Airborne Division refused to execute my order to evacuate refugees. Division commander said, "I won't save cattle. Let them drown." I removed him from command. He raised a mutiny. Now the entire division, 15,000 soldiers, under his control. They're moving toward shelters in Colorado. Anyone in their path gets shot. And units loyal to me are exhausted. We're rescuing refugees, repelling creature attacks, organizing evacuation. We're doing our duty. But we're the minority, maybe 30% of total strength. Billy Joe, if you hear me, I apologize. On behalf of the real army, the one that serves the people. Major Thompson and his men are traitors. They don't represent the U.S. Armed Forces. I declare them deserters and criminals. If they return, they'll be arrested and tried. If they resist, they'll be eliminated. And to all units that still remember their oath, I declare we fight for the people, not for government, not for corporations, for people. Any officer giving orders contradicting this principle should be considered a mutineer. Soldiers have the right to arrest or neutralize him. This isn't army against people. This is army together with people, against traitors above and monsters from the depths. But, Mr. Corwin, I don't know how long we'll hold out. There are more mutineers. They have more resources. And moral superiority doesn't stop bullets. Maybe soon I'll have to make the most terrible decision of my life. What I've been thinking about for a week. But I'm not ready to say it aloud yet.
Keiko Tanaka. 3 days I meditated, didn't eat, didn't sleep, only drank water and listened to rain. In Shinto, there's a practice, misogi, purification under waterfall. Cold water washes away illusions, opens true vision. Rain is also water. I sat under rain for 72 hours, wet, frozen, and I heard. Not voices, not words, images, visions, like waking dreams. I saw the past, saw the first humans, 1 million years ago. They built settlements on the coast, caught fish, worshipped ocean as God. But the ocean began rising slowly, centimeter per year. City after city drowned. Most died, but some went into the water, started holding breath longer, diving deeper, spending more time underwater than on land. Their children were born with mutations, webbing, enlarged lungs, changed eyes. In 10,000 years, they could no longer live on land, became fully aquatic. In 50,000 years, they forgot about land, built cities on the bottom, developed technologies, biological technologies, grew structures from corals and mollusks, domesticated deep-sea creatures. In 100,000 years, they became more intelligent, developed telepathy, collective consciousness, culture based on unity, not individuality. And on land, freed from water, new humans appeared, our ancestors. They didn't remember the Kanaka Kai, built civilizations, waged wars, invented technologies, and again started changing climate, again heated the planet, again made water rise. The Kanaka Kai watched from the depths, waited for the moment when our cycle would end and theirs would resume. I saw the future, saw three paths. Path 1, humanity resists. Wars, uses nuclear weapons, poisons ocean, kills millions of Kanaka Kai, but water still rises. In a year, all land underwater, all humans dead. Kanaka Kai survived, but hate memory of land dwellers. Build new civilization on hatred. Path 2, humanity surrenders, accepts slavery. Lives on Kanaka Kai farms, bred like cattle. Forgets dignity, turns into animals. In 10,000 years, descendants don't remember they were once intelligent, become just food. Species degradation. Path 3. Humanity transforms. Some humans accept Kanaka Kai offer, voluntarily become aquatic, preserve memory of land, become bridge between worlds. The rest die, but die with dignity. Know their descendants live in new form, in new element. In 100,000 years, two races on the planet, aquatic and land dwellers again, because water will recede again, and those who went underwater will return to land. Circle closes. Mr. Corwin, I saw that the third path is possible, but for this we must release hatred, accept inevitability, choose transformation, not war. I made my choice. When water reaches my temple, I won't run. I'll enter the water. Ask Kanaka Kai to accept me. Not from cowardice, from wisdom. Better to live in new form than die clinging to old. But this is personal choice. Each must decide for themselves. Want to die human? Die. That's worthy. Want to live non-human? Live. That's also worthy. There's no wrong choice, only choice.
Day 5 of catastrophe. Truth came out and it's monstrous. Our government betrayed us. For money, for energy. They knew the risk and stayed silent. Our army split. Part fights for the people, part for the elite, part for themselves. Our civilization, it wasn't first. 1,000,000 years ago, there were other humans here. They drowned, turned into what we call ichthyanders. And now the cycle repeats. We're drowning, and our descendants will become the next aquatics. Or won't, if we choose death instead of transformation. Losses. 45 million people in 5 days, 2/3 of East Coast flooded, inland states in chaos, hunger, disease, civil war. Evelyn reached the bottom of Mariana Trench, last transmission expected in 6 hours. General Caldwell prepares final solution. Billy Joe turned gas station into fortress of free people. Keiko found spiritual peace. And I understood my role isn't just to broadcast. My role is to preserve memory, so the next cycle in 100,000 years knows we were here. We lived, we fought, we chose. And when time comes for the next cycle, may our descendants be wiser. Voices from the Abyss. Day 5. Continuing to the end.
Chapter 4. Is a nuclear strike the best choice or not?
American people. This is Major General Nathan Caldwell, Acting Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces. In 6 hours, I will give the order to use nuclear weapons against 3 American cities: New York, Miami, Los Angeles. 3 thermonuclear warheads of 475 kilotons each. Complete destruction radius 8 kilometers. Lethal radiation radius 25 kilometers. By our estimates, approximately 15 million people remain in these cities. Living people. They've taken shelter on upper floors of skyscrapers, on roofs, in unflooded buildings. In 6 hours, they'll be gone. I haven't slept for 96 hours. Spent the last 24 hours in command bunker, studying satellite images, listening to radio intercepts, analyzing intelligence data. The situation is as follows. In New York, water has risen 35 meters. Manhattan turned into an archipelago of protruding skyscrapers. By our count, there are 6.5 million survivors there. Most on Wall Street, in Midtown, on Upper East Side. Between buildings swim ichthyanders, thousands of them. They're climbing up skyscraper walls, breaking windows, breaking inside. According to latest transmissions, they're already on the 40th floor of Empire State Building. People retreating higher, but building height is finite, and water keeps rising. In Miami, the situation is worse. City almost completely flooded. 4 million people on islands, on floating debris, on roofs. Satellite detected. Ichthyanders building a base there. Massive structure of bioluminescent material. Looks like headquarters. Los Angeles, 4.5 million survivors. They organized defense, set fire to oil rigs in ocean, created a ring of fire. This slowed the advance, but fuel supplies are running out. My military analysts presented 3 options. Option A, do nothing. Result, in 14 days, all 3 cities completely in ichthyanders hands. 15 million people eaten or enslaved. Ichthyanders consolidate and begin advance inland. Option B, conventional strike, bombardment, artillery, attack aviation. Result, insufficient effectiveness. Ichthyanders underwater, conventional weapons minimally effective. Survivor casualties, 60%. Delay of ichthyanders advance, 5 to 7 days, insufficient. Option C, nuclear strike. 3 thermonuclear warheads. Underwater explosions create overpressure, killing everything alive within 20-kilometer radius. Water temperature will rise to boiling point. Radiation will sterilize territory. Result, complete destruction of ichthyanders concentrations in 3 cities. Advance delayed, possibly months. Collateral damage, 15 million American citizens. 15 million. Men, women, children, elderly, innocent people who just didn't evacuate in time. I've read their messages, listened to their broadcasts. They're begging for help, asking for ships, helicopters, anything. Yesterday, a woman from Brooklyn went on air. Young mother, holding 2-year-old daughter, said, "General, if you hear me, we're on the 67th floor. Water's on 65th. No food for 3 days. Daughter's crying from hunger. Please save us. Please, for God's sake." Connection broke. Haven't heard her voice since. I have a son. Had, Thomas. Died in Iraq 15 years ago. He was 19, young lieutenant, full of idealism and belief in righteous cause. Last letter from him I received the day before he died. He wrote, "Dad, I'm proud to serve, proud to protect those who can't protect themselves. It's our duty, duty of the strong to the weak." Every night I dream his face. He looks at me and asks, "Dad, do you remember what we serve for?" And tonight I couldn't sleep. Sat in empty office, held his photo, and thought, what would you do, Thomas? What would you advise your father? And I heard the answer, not in words, in feeling. Thomas would say, "Do what saves the most, even if it costs you your soul." I did the calculations. Cold, unfeeling calculations.
General Caldwell, I don't know what to say. 15 million. 15 million. That's more than died in the Holocaust, more than Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined, more than all Americans in World War I. And you'll do it in 6 hours. I'm a journalist. My job is to stay objective, dispassionate, just broadcast facts. But how can I stay this passionate when in 6 hours my people will destroy themselves? My son Kyle, he was 7 years old. He was in Miami, one of those 4 million, maybe still alive, on a rooftop somewhere, hungry, scared, waiting for Daddy to save him. And in 6 hours, he'll be vaporized by a nuclear blast. Not even a body will remain, just a shadow on the wall. But the general's right. Math is cruel but simple. 15 versus 135. And if I were in this place, what would I do? Would I kill my own son to save other children? Or let everyone die to keep my hands clean of my son's blood? I don't know, and thank God it's not me making this decision. General Caldwell, you'll curse yourself every day for the rest of your life, but know this, you're doing what others can't, taking the sin upon yourself so others can remain innocent. This isn't heroism. This is something greater. This is sacrifice of your own soul. Starting countdown. 6 hours until launch. To residents of New York, Miami, and Los Angeles, I'll broadcast until the very end. You won't die in silence. I'll be with you, in words, in voice, in memory. Send messages, voice, text, any. Tell about yourself, your loved ones, your life. I'll record everything, save everything, and when this ends, the world will know your names, your stories. You won't just be numbers in a report. You'll be people with all your hopes, fears, love, and maybe Dr. Strauss will stop this. She's almost at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Maybe there's an answer there. Maybe a way to stop them without nuclear weapons. Evelyn, if you hear, you have 6 hours. Find what will stop this slaughter.
Danny, General, this is Evelyn. Depth 10,850 meters. 150 meters to bottom remaining. Oxygen for 4 hours, maybe less. Sensors glitching, pressure monstrous, bathyscaphe hull cracking. I hear metal groaning. I know about your decision, General. Intercepted military transmission. Don't launch missiles. Please. This won't help. I see their city. Main city. At the bottom. This isn't a city. This is a megalopolis. Size of New York. Maybe bigger. Thousands of structures. Towers hundreds of meters tall. Bioluminescent, glowing all colors of rainbow. Blue, green, purple, red. Between towers, transport. Yes, actual transport. Creatures in capsules. Transparent capsules. Moving with the current. Organized movement. Like subway. There are plazas. Parks. Yes. Underwater parks. Kelp plantations. Coral gardens. There are factories. Enormous factories producing weapons. Biological weapons. And there's it. In city center. Main building. Structure size of mountain. Kilometer tall. Peak disappears into darkness above. Shape pyramidal, but organic, as if it grew from the bottom. Entire building pulsates slowly, rhythmically, like a heart. Inside light, bright light, seeping through translucent walls. This is their government, temple, headquarters. I don't know, but this is the center, brain of entire operation. General, if you strike New York, Miami, and Los Angeles with nuclear weapons, you'll destroy 15 million people and maybe several thousand Ixianders. But here, at the bottom, there are millions. This is their home, their civilization, their strength. Nuclear torpedoes won't reach here. Too deep. Pressure will crush any equipment at 8,000 meters. You'll kill people for nothing, for illusion of victory, and they'll keep rising from the depths again and again. Don't do this. Give me time. I'll descend to the bottom, make contact, try to negotiate. Maybe there's a way. Maybe war can be stopped with words, not bombs.
Give me 6 hours. Just 6 hours. Either I find answers at the bottom or die there. But 15 million innocents shouldn't die because of math. Next contact from the very bottom or never.
Billy here. Short contact. Heard General's announcement. 6 hours to nuclear strike. Radiation cloud heading east. We're in path. Evacuating everyone. 850 people. Trucks, buses, cars, everything that moves. Heading to Sierra Nevada mountains, 400 kilometers west. That's mutineer military. They blocked the road, demanding payment for passage, food, fuel, weapons. Bandits in uniform. We're breaking through by force. Gunfire. Lost 7 people. But we broke through. Convoy moving. Danny, leaving the gas station. My home for 40 years. Place where my younger brother was born. Where I met my wife. Where I survived her death from cancer. Every stone here soaked with memory. And now abandoning everything. Just leaving. Because memory isn't worth life. Tell General Caldwell, I understand. Don't forgive, but understand. If I were in his place, maybe I'd do the same. Or maybe couldn't. Don't know. But he's doing it. And that takes strength I don't have. We'll survive, Danny. Not all, but some. And we'll remember those who died. All 15 million. Each one. Not as numbers, as people. That's all we can do.
Children of New York, Miami, Los Angeles. This is Keiko Tanaka, priest of Shinto temple. In a few hours you leave this world. Not for your will, not for your sins, simply because that's others' choice. This is unjust, cruel, wrong. But death knows no justice. It comes when it comes, and we don't choose time and manner. We choose only how to meet it. In Shinto, there's concept, mono no aware, sad beauty of transience. Everything passes. Flowers wilt, people die, civilizations fall. But in this transience, beauty, because finitude is what makes life valuable. You live your last hours. Use them. Call loved ones. Say you love them. Ask forgiveness for old grievances. Forgive others. Hug children. Tell them you were happy to be their parents. Watch sunset. Last sunset. Remember colors. Listen to music. Favorite song, one you sang in youth. Remember best day of life. Replay it in memory, detail by detail. I'll perform misogi ritual, soul purification, for all of you at once, through distance, through radio waves. Close eyes, breathe deeply. Imagine standing under waterfall, cold, clean water washing over you, washing away fear, washing away pain, washing away sins. You are clean, you are free, you are ready. When moment comes, don't be afraid. Death is instantaneous, flash of light, warmth, and silence. No pain, no suffering, just transition. Your souls won't die. They'll dissolve in ocean, become part of water, water that gives life, water that's eternal. In 1,000 years, this water will become rain over new forests, rivers in new valleys, tears of new people. You live in a different form, but live. And to those who survived, remember them, not as victims, as gifts. They gave lives so you could live. Don't waste this gift on hatred, on war, on revenge. Build new world, better world, world worthy of their sacrifice. Journey ends, new one begins. Go in peace.
1 hour until launch. In last 5 hours, I received 300,000 messages. Voice, text, video. Last words of 300,000 people. I can't read all, not enough time. But I'll read some. Let the world hear. Sarah Miller, 34, elementary school teacher from Brooklyn. Danny, my name is Sarah. I'm with daughter Emma on roof of school number 47. Emma is 7. She's asking why sky is so beautiful today. I said, because angels are preparing to meet us. Tell my husband John if he's alive. I love you. Always loved you. Sorry we fought over stupid things. Sorry I didn't say often enough how grateful I was for every day with you. And thank you for Emma, for 10 years of happiness, for being best husband anyone could imagine. Live, please live, for all 3 of us. Marcus Johnson, 67, Vietnam veteran from Miami. Hey Danny, old soldier Johnson here. 50 years ago, fought in jungles, saw death. Many times was a hair's breadth from it. But to die from nuclear strike by my own country, didn't expect that. You know what? Not angry. General's doing what he must. War always demands sacrifices. Just this time, sacrifice is me. Tell the general, old Sergeant Johnson salutes. Execute orders, soldier, and don't doubt. Semper Fi. Lila Rodriguez, 19, student at UCLA. Dreamed of becoming doctor, helping people. Didn't make it. Didn't make anything. Didn't fall truly in love. Didn't visit Paris. Didn't tell mom her casserole is best in world. So much unsaid, undone. But you know what? In 19 years, I had many happy days, laughter, joy, love. And if that's all I'm given, then it was enough. Mom, Dad, brothers, love you. See you on the other side. Another 299,997 messages. All different, all human, all important. I saved each one, 3 copies, on 3 servers, in 3 countries. When this ends, I'll publish all. Every word, every name. 15 million won't be forgotten. 30 minutes until launch. General Caldwell, last chance to cancel order. Dr. Strauss, last chance to find answer. God, last chance for a miracle.
Strategic Command, General Caldwell. Order confirmed. Access code Alpha 07 Tango Delta Niner. Authorized launch of 3 W-88 warheads. Target Alpha, New York. Coordinates confirmed. Target Bravo, Miami. Coordinates confirmed. Target Charlie, Los Angeles. Coordinates confirmed. Time to impact 12 minutes. Thomas, son, if you hear me wherever you are, forgive me. I became what you protected the country from. I became a mass murderer. Missiles in air, no turning back. God, what have I done?
Missiles in air. Time to impact. 10 minutes. Satellite feed active. I see them on screen. 3 white streaks in sky. Beautiful. Deadly. People in cities. These are final minutes. Hug those near you. Close eyes. Think of good things. 5 minutes. I can't just sit and broadcast. This isn't news. This is murder. And I'm accomplice. Because I stayed silent. Because I didn't stop it. Stop this, somebody. Stop. Two minutes. Forgive me, Kyle. Daddy couldn't save you. 1 minute. 30 seconds. 10. Done. Cities vaporized. 15 million souls in 1 second. Satellite images. New York. Mushroom cloud, 30 kilometers high. Miami. Ocean boiling. Los Angeles. Firestorm. And you know what? It changed nothing. Water keeps rising. Ichthyanders in other cities, unharmed. Radiation won't reach their cities at the bottom. We killed 15 million people, and it didn't help. General Caldwell, you killed them for nothing.
Satellite reconnaissance confirms Ichthyanders continue advance in Boston, Philadelphia, Seattle, Portland. Nuclear strikes didn't stop them, didn't even slow them. I killed 15 million Americans for nothing. In right drawer of my desk lies a pistol, Colt 1911, father's gift when I made lieutenant. Served with it 40 years. Now I'll take it out, put it in mouth, and pull trigger. It's the only right action I can take. Thomas, coming to you, son.
Chapter 5. Reaching the Bottom.
Danny, if you hear me, this is Evelyn. Depth, 11,034 meters. Bottom of Mariana Trench. I reached the bottom. Oxygen remaining for 40 minutes. Maybe less. CO2 sensor showing critical level. Hypoxia beginning. Head spinning. Spots in eyes. But I see. My God, I see. Bath escape settled on flat surface. Not silt. Not stone. Material. Artificial. Smooth. Warm. Sensors showing plus 18 degrees Celsius. An ocean at this depth should be plus 2 degrees Celsius. This is a floor. Plaza. Enormous plaza. Size of Central Park. And before me is IT. Main structure. Pyramid. 1 kilometer tall. Peak disappears into darkness above. Surface bioluminescent. Pulsates with slow light. Blue. Green. Purple. In waves. Like breathing. At the base. Entrance. Arch 50 meters high. Beyond arch. Light. Bright. Warm light. They're waiting for me. I know this. Feel it. Around the bath escape, ichthyanders gathered. Hundreds. Standing motionless. Not threatening. Just observing. One swam closer. Larger than others. 3 meters tall. Markings on chest. Scars forming symbols. Some rank. Leader. It looks at me through porthole. Directly in eyes. Huge, black eyes. Without lids. And I hear, not with ears, in head, a voice.
Daughter Strauss, who descended to us, we waited for you. Your father, Robert, who woke us, spoke of you. His memory lives in our songs.
You're in my head. How are you?
Water transmits thoughts. We learned to listen to water 1,000,000 years ago. You too can learn if you choose to stay.
I don't understand. Stay where? Here?
No, in world that is becoming. Water world. Our world.
Danny, they communicate telepathically. Through water. I hear their thoughts. Images. Feelings. Not words. Concepts. And they're showing the past.
1,000,000 years ago, there was civilization on Earth. Not as advanced as ours. Stone tools, wooden huts, fishing, hunting. But these were humans. Homo erectus. They built settlements on coast, hundreds of thousands of people. And then climate changed. Glaciers melted. Ocean rose 50 meters in 200 years. Most died, but some adapted. Started holding breath longer, diving deeper, spending more time underwater than on land. Their children born with mutations, webbing, enlarged lungs, changed eyes. In 10,000 years, they could no longer live on land, became fully aquatic. In 50,000 years, forgot about land, built cities at bottom, developed technologies, biological technologies, grew structures from corals and mollusks, domesticated deep-sea creatures. In 100,000 years, became more intelligent, developed telepathy, collective consciousness, culture based on unity, not individuality. And on land, freed from water, new humans appeared. Our ancestors. They didn't remember Kanakakai. Built civilizations, waged wars, invented technologies, and again started changing climate. Again heated planet. Again made water rise. Kanakakai watched from depths. Waited for the moment when our cycle would end and theirs would resume. Danny, we're not first, not even second. We're repeating a cycle that's lasted millions of years. Land, water, endless cycle. And we're just another link.
Yes, Evelyn, who understands. You see truth. Cycle cannot be stopped, only accepted.
But why are you killing us? Why can't we live together?
We do not kill, we return. Land was ours. We left when water receded. Now water returns. We return. This is not war. This is nature.
And those farms? Those cages with people?
We breed cows, pigs, chickens. We breed you. Is this unjust or is this nature?
God, they're right. From their perspective, right. We do the same to animals.
But Evelyn, there is choice. Not for all, for chosen.
What choice?
Transformation. We learned to change DNA of adult beings. You can become us. Preserve mind, preserve memory, but receive new body, water body.
You're offering me to become an ichthyander?
Yes, and not only you. 1,000 humans, best, scientists, artists, philosophers, those worthy to preserve memory of land humanity.
And the rest?
Will die, or become food, or degrade into slaves. We are not cruel, but not sentimental. Cycle continues.
Danny, they're offering a deal. 1,000 humans transform, become aquatic, preserve human memory and culture. The rest just die. In a year, maybe 2, when all land is flooded. This is genocide with offer of salvation for the elite. And you know what's most terrifying? It's logical. From evolutionary perspective, logical. They're waiting for my answer. Now, here. If I agree, I'll become first, bridge between
queen species, ambassador of humanity in aquatic world. If I refuse, I'll just die here at bottom, and humanity will die on surface. I must think. Oxygen remaining for 20 minutes. 20 minutes to decide fate of species.
Evelyn, the whole world is listening. Not just me. Millions of people listening. Your decision will become a symbol. If you agree, some will follow you. Accept transformation. If you refuse, you'll die a martyr. Symbol of resistance. But the decision is yours. Only yours. In the last 30 minutes, I received 100,000 messages. People writing to you, begging, cursing, blessing. I'll read a few. Maria Sanchez, mother of 3 from Texas. Dr. Strauss, if there's chance to save our children, do it, in any form. Let them live, even if not human, but live. John McGregor, priest from Montana. This is devil's temptation. Reject it. Remain human. Die with honor, not live as monster. Li Chen, scientists from California. From a biological perspective, transformation isn't death, but evolution. Your consciousness will persist. This isn't betrayal. This is species survival in new form. Who's right? I don't know. I only know you have 20 minutes of oxygen and a choice that will determine what remains of humanity in 1,000 years. Memory in the bodies of aquatic creatures, or memory in form of radio broadcasts, books, and ruins of flooded cities.
Danny, I've made my decision. I refuse. Because I'm human. Not biologically, philosophically. Humanity isn't DNA. It's choice. Choice to remain yourself even when it's easier to change. My father made a choice. Woke you, but couldn't live with consequences. Killed himself. That was human choice. Foolish, weak, but human. General Caldwell made a choice. Killed 15 million to save others. That was human choice. Monstrous, but human. Keiko made a choice. Accepted inevitability with dignity. That was human choice. Wise and human. And I make my choice. I'll remain human. Die human. And memory of me will be memory of what it means to refuse the easy path. I'm ascending. 11,000 meters up. Won't have enough oxygen. Will die somewhere around 8,000 meters. But I'll die rising toward light, not descending into darkness. Danny, I'm rising. Pressure dropping. Easier to breathe. A little easier. I see their city through porthole, passing by. Beautiful city. Truly beautiful. Pity it's not ours. At 10,000 meters, oxygen for 15 minutes. You know, Danny, I don't regret. Not my whole life. Not fights with father. Not loneliness. not failed marriage, not childlessness, because all of it led me here, to this moment, to this choice, and I chose correctly. I know this. 9,000 meters, oxygen for 10 minutes. Danny, tell Caldwell, say I don't blame him. He did what he thought was right, as did I. Tell Billy Joe, say his gas station was a beacon of hope. Let it keep burning. Tell Keiko, say his wisdom comforted millions. Let him keep teaching. 8,000 meters, oxygen for 5 minutes. Danny, thank you for listening, for recording, for being voice for the voiceless. Keep broadcasting until the end. Let memory live. 6,500 meters. Oxygen for 1 minute. I see light above. Distant light. Going to light. Dad, I'm coming to you. Forgive for everything. Love.
Dr. Evelyn Strauss, 39 years old, oceanographer, daughter, hero. Died at depth of 6,400 meters at 2:47 p.m. Eastern Time. Her bath escape will surface in 12 hours. Empty. Body inside. She was last human to see the bottom of the world, and first to refuse chance at immortality to preserve humanity. History will remember her, not as scientist, as symbol of what it means to remain human when everything human disappears. In last hour, I received another 500,000 messages. People writing about their choice. 300,000 chose death, refused transformation, preferred to die human. 200,000 chose life, waiting for Ichthyander agents, ready for transformation. Humanity split. And you know what? That's okay. That's right. Because choice is the last thing that makes us human, even if choices differ.
Billy, we're in Sierra Nevada mountains, 3,000 meters above sea level. Water won't reach here, not for 10 years anyway. 600 people survived out of 850. Rest died on the way, from mutineer military, from creatures, from hunger. But 600 are alive, built camp, cutting trees, hunting, growing vegetables in greenhouses, organized school for 40 children. We're not surrendering, won't accept transformation. We'll remain human, even if last, but human. Danny, I lived 62 years on plains. Now I'll live the rest in mountains. Not the life I dreamed of, but it's life. And children will grow in new world of mountain people. Maybe in 100 years their descendants will descend back to the plains when water recedes, when new cycle begins. And they'll remember us. Remember we didn't surrender. That's all we can achieve. Memory. Keep broadcasting, Danny, while you can. We're listening.
Keiko Tanaka, last transmission from temper. Water reached foot of hill. In an hour will flood temper. I'm not running, not resisting. Will accept transformation. Already see them. 3 ichthyanders climbing temple steps. Slowly, respectfully, like pilgrims. They're not enemies, just different. And I'll become different, but remain myself. Memory will persist. Wisdom will persist. Essence will persist. Body is temporary. Soul is eternal. Buddhists understood this thousands of years ago. They're here, extending hands, long hands with webbing. I take their hands, cold, but not hostile. They lead me to water. Water warm, pleasant, like bath. They submerge me underwater. Not breathing, don't need to breathe. They give me something. Mask? No, organic, attaching to face. Now breathing. Through this, through gills. Mr. Corwin, I'm transforming. Feel changes in skin, in lungs, in eyes. Painful, very painful, but bearable. I see their thoughts, images. They show future. In 100 years, 2 races on Earth, aquatic and mountain dwellers, not enemies, just different. In 1,000 years, water will recede. Mountain dwellers return to plains. Aquatic remain in ocean. Will trade, exchange culture. In 10,000 years, descendants of both unite, create no civilization, better, wiser. Cycle isn't end. Cycle, renewal. Farewell, Mr. Corwin. Don't grieve. All is well. All as should be.
Voices from the Abyss, Day 7. Last. 7 days ago, catastrophe began. Today, it concludes. Not because it ended, because there's nothing more to say. Statistics. Dead, 65 million people. Transformed, 2 million people. Fled to mountains, 50 million people. Remaining on plains fighting, 100 million people. Surrendered, became slaves, 80 million people. Flooded, 70% of coastal territories. Water level, plus 45 meters in 1 week. Forecast, another plus 100 meters in a year. Humanity, as unified species, ceased to exist. Now we're mountain dwellers, transformed, fighters, slaves. 4 branches of what once was Homo sapiens. Dr. Strauss was right. Cycle repeats. Million years ago, same happened. In million years, we'll repeat again. We're not special, not chosen, just another iteration. And that's okay. You know what I understood in these 7 days? Humanity isn't in DNA, not in body shape, in choice. Evelyn chose to die human. Keko chose to live non-human. Caldwell chose to kill millions for other millions. Billy Joe chose to resist till end. All choices different, all choices human. I also made choice. Staying in bunker, continuing broadcast, while generator runs. While there's something to say. Recording survivor stories, testimonies of the dead, decisions of the transformed. Creating an archive, a library of humanity. The last memory of who we were. Maybe in 1,000 years, someone will find these records, mountain dwellers, or aquatics, or a new race that comes after us. And they'll learn, here was a people, called themselves human, fought, suffered, loved, chose. And at end, when everything collapsed, preserved the main thing, ability to choose who to be. That storm, tropical storm, such will happen constantly now. Warm ocean evaporates, rain pours endlessly. New normal for a new world. Listeners, those still listening, thank you for being with me these 7 days, for sharing stories, for not surrendering. Choose wisely, live worthily, remember past, and if cycle ever repeats again, be wiser than us. This was final broadcast of Voices from the Abyss. Danny Corwin, 29 years old, journalist, father, human, signing off.